Hi, thanks for tuning in to Atomic-Moto's review of the Moose M1.2 Enduro boot. This is a new model from Moose Racing and a new model for us. It fills a very, very important part in our line. It is a price point boot as close to $100 as possible, and does a very, very good job of that. We'll get into that in a moment or so, but let me talk about some of the details about it. First, it's a very traditional design, 4 buckles. The buckles are a nice quality plastic, very simple action, no serious leverage here, very easy to use, just a male-female closure, which we really like. They're replaceable, as you can see. They have adjustable straps, and you can actually get longer straps from Moose. It has the typical inside ankle plastic piece, which is kind of the cornerstone of most MX boots. This sort of shape and area of coverage is almost a consistent thing on all motocross boots. It uses what Moose describes as genuine split grain PU coated leather, wink wink, which is a way of spinning the fact that it's a really inexpensive material, but it's actually pretty nice and feels pretty pliable. You can kind of see that. It's got a nice surface finish, doesn't feel really stiff. It's quite good in terms of its feel. Nice large boot guard. You can see, and this is a really important factor, you can see it's fairly slim to the ankle, and that's quite good. The Moose boot is made in Asia, and you know, the Italians still hold an edge for footwear, more so than in other categories like helmets and apparel. Asian-made products, Asian-made footwear for motorcycling is really catching up, but still not quite where the Italians are. This is one of the best efforts that we've seen, though. If you look at it, you can see that the ankle on this is very trim, and it feels really good. There's thick padding on the ankle, both on the outer side here and on the inner side, running all the way up and down this area. And that's nice because it really traps the ankle and it feels really supportive. And that padding actually extends down through the inside of the boot and in and around the foot chamber. And so it's got a really nice feel, much more than you would expect from something at this price point. Has an Enduro sole. This boot is actually available in 2 configurations. This is the Enduro model. We're going to do another review on the regular model a little bit later. But it has an Enduro lug sole, which is becoming something that more and more people are looking for because they're getting off and walking and needing to push other bikes around or hike over rugged terrain. And that's really good. It does not have a plastic heel counter, nor does it have a very large plastic protector on the calf, but it does have a hard insert here inside, and it does have a little bit of a hard insert here, so this does give you some protection. The most important thing, though, about the construction is this. In fact, I'm going to segue right into how this boot fits and works and performs in the field. But here's the most important thing about this boot. We looked for a very, very long time for replacement for our previous entry-level MX boot, which was the Axo Boxer. That one was really great. That factory that produced it closed down, and we looked at lots of other models to replace it, and we couldn't find anything that we really liked. And in fact, even the replacement that Axo came out with, the drone, is something that we passed on. Most of the entry-level footwear in the market we feel is kind of stiff and cumbersome and doesn't have a good feel. In short, it feels cheap. Not this one. This one is actually surprisingly comfortable and pliable and flexible and easy to walk in. It is on par with some of the stuff for feel that we've seen from Europe, and there's one really, really good reason why. The plastic used on this boot is of a higher quality than typical for entry-level MX boots. It is polyurethane instead of polyethylene or polypropylene in some cases. That is what is normally used. Those 2 types of plastic are much less expensive. They are less pliable, especially when temperatures drop. However, this Moose M1.2 boot uses polyurethane, and you can see it's nice and pliable and flexible everywhere, and that gives the boot a really, really good feel. You put it on, and in fact, in some cases, we had people compare this to some Italian boots and say, man, this is quite good. In fact, the Moose rep came in, and he put this on, and he was quite surprised at how good it is. We had a little joke with him on that. It is fairly light in weight. This one is about 3.5 pounds, just a shade under 3.5 pounds, in fact, for a size 11. And that light weight means it's pretty good for walking. It doesn't feel very heavy and very stiff on your legs. Okay, continuing on how this boot feels and performs in the field, one of the things that I want to re-emphasize is how slim and trim this is through the ankle. And that is really rare for footwear made in Asia. The boot fits and conforms really nicely around the transition from the foot to the leg. That's typically where a lot of manufacturers get it wrong, and Moose got it right. It has a nice wide toe box. That's another thing that is really important. In fact, it is among the more wide in the toe box area. There's plenty of room in there if you have a wide foot, and there's actually a nice amount of vertical room in here if you want to add a footbed. I've got a footbed in mind, and that's improved the fit even more. As usual, the footbed that comes inside this boot is pretty inexpensive and cheap. And we want to continually mention that manufacturers need to step this part of the game up. This is really inexpensive piece, and it doesn't help the feel of the boot at all. And we recommend it to everybody to go to their manufacturers, go to their brands, and tell them to improve this footbed, and also to go out and buy a better one if you can. The sizes of this, it is one of the few boots that is available in really large sizes. It goes from size 8 on up to 15. So got a big foot, this is a good choice for you. It works for fairly large calves, not the largest. I'd say if you start getting up over 19, 20 inches and you're going to wear an MX style shin guard in here, you might have a little bit of difficulty. And over 20 inches, I think it's probably not for you. But up to about that measurement, I think you're okay. Moose does have longer straps available as an accessory that help you tune that if you need a little bit more space. So who is this boot for? Fills a really important spot in our line. It is great for the person that is venturing off into more rugged terrain off-road and says, gosh, you know, I really want something that has good protection, but I'm afraid that I'm going to get an MX boot and it's going to be too stiff and too uncomfortable and too hard to walk in. And we hear that comment every single day. And this boot is really good for that individual. It has a better than average feel. It's nice and lightweight. It's nice and flexible. The foot chamber is shaped really well. So it actually gives you quite a bit of protection and doesn't really sacrifice very much in the way of comfort. It is great for people that already have adventure touring boots, but just need something that they're going to use occasionally in their more rugged rides. It's not a big investment for what you get. It is good for people that are willing to just err a little bit more to the side of protection, and with footwear we feel that's a really good idea. It is probably the most important thing I can say about it is that this is the best $150 boot out there. In fact, it's better than most $200 boots. The one that comes to mind is the Alpinestars Tech 3. That's a very, very popular model, and that we feel is well marketed, but it's really clunky and heavy, and that epitomizes the stiff and uncomfortable MX boot. And this is much, much, much better, and it costs quite a bit less. So we really like this. This is bomber recommended. One caveat, it's bomber recommended for its price point, but this is a product that we really like, and we're stoked that the Moose did such a good job on it. Wrapping up on the Moose M1.2, again, it's available in sizes 8 through 15. It is available in white or black. We're going to stock just black for now with 2 different sole configurations. This is the Enduro sole. There's also an MX sole. We're going to do a separate review for that model later. It is $144.95, which is quite good actually for what you get. It's really nice and comfortable, and for that price it is far better than anything else that is comparable in the market. So that's a review of the M1.2 boot from Moose Racing. We are Atomic-Moto, www.atomic-moto.com, home of the bombers. We are mission focused on making sure that we understand the gear that we sell so we can make recommendations to you for your bike, your type of riding, your region in some cases. And we make sure that we know as much as we can about this product. So if you call us and contact us via email, or you need info from a video or from our website, we pass that good info to you. We like to back it up with the best customer service possible. With people that can actually answer the phone and fire the synapses to speak to you intelligently. Thanks for tuning in.